this is section 1.6 part 2, and we're going to look at solving and graphing inequalities. So before we get into this, I just want to let you know that you're going to solve an inequality pretty much the same way you would solve an equation. And you know, when you solve an equation, sometimes your variable ends up on the left side of the equal sign, and sometimes it ends up on the right side of the equal sign. Same holds true when you solve inequalities. And so sometimes students get a little confused when they have to graph on a number line and with their shading. Which way do I shade? Right, so I've put a little chart here. You can kind of see it's made, and this will hopefully help us with our shading. So let's take a look. All right, so sometimes, as I said, your variable can end up on the left side of the inequality symbol, as we see down here. X is greater than 5. And sometimes the variable can end up on the right side of the inequality symbol. Alright, so it kind of looks like 5 is greater than x, or if you read it from right to left, it would be x is less than 5. So I know a lot of students learn the trick of, the inequality symbols are arrows, so always shade in the direction of the arrow. Well, that's not true if your inequality symbol is on the other side of the equation. So if you're unsure of what I mean, if that the inequality symbol actually forms an arrow, this symbol, actually think of it as the tip of the arrow. So if you were to draw a line in here, this arrow is pointing right. And if you were to draw a line here, this arrow is also pointing right. So if you were to shade both of these problems to the right, one of them would be correct, one of them would be incorrect. So I've got a little rule of thumb here, and that's written in red. So it says basically when you have your variable on the left side, alright, so we see that here, you're going to shade in the direction of the inequality symbol, or the way the arrow is pointing. So we said the arrow is pointing right, so if it's on the left side, you want to make sure you shade in that direction. So we've got a x is greater than 5, open circle, because it's greater than, not greater than or equal to. This says shade right. So we will. And we would be correct, because if we were to plug in any of these numbers, such as 6, 6 is greater than 5, and also 7, 7 is greater than 5. So that rule holds true only when the variable is on the left side of the inequality symbol. But you're going to see sometimes your variable is going to end up on the right side. So what do? You shade in the opposite direction of the inequality symbol. So the opposite direction of what our arrow is pointing. So here we've got 5 is greater than x. So I'm going to still have an open circle here at 5. If I were to shade right, that would be incorrect, because let's plug in 6. Is 5 greater than 6? No. Is 5 greater than 7? No. So we know we don't want to shade right, we want to shade left. The opposite direction of what that arrow is telling us to do. Okay, so look at the next videos, and we will get some practice with actually solving some inequalities.